Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Stud and Dud presented by the Dallas School of Music. Thank you all for listening. With me each week, the man, the myth, the legend, Dr. Bob Lawrence. How you doing, Doc?
Fighting a little cold, Josh.
I know. I see that.
Fighting a little cold. But, hey, the show goes on.
It does.
I'm here.
I'm like, man, I'll come in. I'm like, is it happening again? And then...
Well, I had a student come in sick.
Hey.
He's listening to the show right now. He knows
better be.
He knows who he is.
And he's in trouble.
Dude, next time you're sick, reschedule.
Or, hey, which is awesome. Let's do the online thing.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Say, hey,
do the online.
I'm
it's
sick.
safe.
If you obviously have the computer and can do it. But, yeah, and do you do that through Skype, or does it have to be a certain platform?
Well, we have all our operations are set up in a Google Cloud.
Oh, wow.
So we just use Google Meet.
Gotcha.
It's just really seamless. It's
Yeah.
already there. It's all set up. It's very, very easy.
So you like send him a link essentially and say, hey.
Well, it's what we did with Nick Leckie.
There you go.
When we had him on.
Boom.
We just did a little.
And I'm going to get, well, I'm not wearing it today. I'm actually getting, I had more. I don't think I wore this after we went to the Zomboree for our little, that was for our honeymoon. So I got my little Jeep going on today.
Nice.
Once again, another pair. These are the Black Cats, the threes. Another pair of Jordan. Trying to keep, every week I keep forgetting to kind of show them out, but hopefully if you're looking down, you're going to see them.
I brought in another pair of my Under Armour. I don't even know what these are.
The Under Armour flats.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go. We'll just say, keep it simple.
$14.95.
But I thought I was one of my Deckmar trades. The guy, which I was just talking about him, and the main guy, the guy that runs the chat room, Deckmar Trades via TradeCaster, which is a beautiful trading setup where you get to see what he's looking at. You get all his scanners, so you get hide him, all this cool little stuff. And plus, he's talking all day, so it's great. And then you have all these different traders in there. Anyway, we're gonna get him on, and I was just telling him about.
Wow.
About how to get him on, and that's exactly I sent him the link to Nick Leckie, which was great, and said, hey, here's what we're going to do. And he's like, man, love it. And he's like, the audio in your end is amazing. I was like, huh. Well, I was like, you're going to thank Dr. Bob Lawrence for that. He pretty much had these set up since he has a school of music. He pretty much had everything here.
It's right here.
It was right here, which was great. But anyway, let's get into it. What are we going to talk about today? Oh, and by the way, guess what today is?
Friday.
Besides that, first day of spring training, Dr. Rangers play today. I figured you'd be a little more pumped about it. Yeah. Maybe opening day baseball. Spring training, you're kind of like, maybe your trip.
Well, I'm excited about the trip.
Yeah.
I love spring training baseball when I'm there.
There, right. Hey, I just want to, we'll get to that, though. Certainly, because a lot of baseball, not a lot.
Is there anything going on in baseball?
I mean, I'm telling you.
Is there anything?
A little bit.
Okay.
We pretty much love
we
the headlines.
We got to talk about that.
We certainly will. On tap today, what's up, Doc? You got a what's up, Doc, for us?
Yeah.
Because I've got a great tweet of the week.
Well, my What's Up Doc is, we'll talk about your tweet of the week, but my What's Up Doc is the baseball stuff going on.
Okay, well, good.
I'm a little teed off about all that.
Well, everyone's getting involved.
Oh, I know. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
I knew the players were going to say something. I didn't know when it was going to happen, but I knew it was only a matter of time. Man, but the players are going to, we'll get to it.
Yeah, we'll get to it.
That's
my What's Up Doc.
We're going to get to it one way or the other. I thought it was going to be a recap and preview, but it's going to be in What's Up, Doc.
It's going to be What's Up.
But it's Black History Month. Didn't bring that up a couple shows ago in the month. I think we started on them on the 1st. Or no, it's close to. Whatever day we started on, this month. I think it was because the 14th. I think it was the first day. Anyway, regardless, I should have brought it up earlier. Pay tribute. I mean, it's a great month. I know it's kind of lost its luster, a lot of the...
Why do we have a Black History Month?
And that's what we're going to also wanted to bring up.
Why do we have that?
I think the main reason why is the way, obviously, what this country did to them early on. And so eventually we have to pay kind of tribute to what they had to go through, I guess. But more so, it's, I guess, even into the 50s.
Oh, boy. Yeah.
Because my dad lived in Birmingham, Alabama, so he got to see it firsthand. I mean, if I couldn't imagine living, because the way I feel now.
Well, if we're going to celebrate people, let's celebrate people. Right?
I know, but I think that's exactly, and that even because this will get to the fight, because Tyson Fury brought this up, and he was just trying to make a comment, but they gave, in the conference, after they got done with the hustling and busting and pushing each other. One of the pressers, they got to, ask people from the media, and he was a black guy, and just said, hey, are you going to, it's Black History Month. I know a lot of people don't, some people, they may not bring that up, but just, you want to make a mark for, your name in Black history as a black athlete. And you could, to me, he was just trying to say, hey, it's Black History Month, and it was a black guy to black guy. You're just trying to, make your name as a black athlete. Well, Tyson Fury, once again, kind of like has that other side. I'm like, hey, this isn't about race. This is just two fighters in there. And I understand both sides because, hey, I understand. He does want to probably make his name as a, great black, someone to be celebrated. Exactly. But why do we have one? We'll get into that for sure. But we have to definitely pay tribute to, at least in my eyes, what they certainly had to go through their first. And what some of them still have to, it seems like.
Well,
we'll never know.
Well, listen, there's no question about that. Some of the black athletes like
Jesse Owens
and Jackie Robinson, right?
Yeah.
Right, what they endured. But I think what they endured goes way beyond their blackness. My gosh.
I know.
Way beyond that. In fact,
I just want to pay tribute.
Yeah,
Whether
exactly.
you want to call it what you want to call it, you can call it.
We could talk about it, but I just think
I wish we called it Interracial Month. We could celebrate Latinos or Mexicans or
gosh.
Hispanic. We could celebrate. We can celebrate everything. Is my point, because we got a lot of different nationalities. That's what we embrace
we should be
in this
celebrating
country.
Just great people.
That's what I'm saying.
Great events.
That's what I'm saying.
Great accomplishments.
Because guess what? No one in this country is from where?
Right.
This country.
Well, right. And
Originally.
And you know,
our background is.
I'm actually waiting for, and it's probably already happened.
What?
I'm actually waiting for the black athlete or the black person to stand up and say, enough already with Black History Month. In other words, if we had a White History Month, I would say, stop it.
Yeah, exactly.
Just stop it,
Yeah,
please.
right.
Can we just stop it?
That's why I said, if
Can we
anything,
stop?
let's make one that's everyone. We celebrate
Correct.
everybody. That's kind of helped it out, right?
Accomplishments,
yeah.
regardless of fat, skinny, tall, short, black,
Color.
white,
Yeah.
right?
Exactly.
Okay.
All right. We'll get into that, though. We got
You got me all wound up. That could have been a What's Up, Doc.
There
right?
you could have been. I'll go over one sports list that. And here's one thing. Then the reason I'm going to bring this up, just to pay tribute, because obviously Black History Month, but also there was a list that was just done, and I found it. Dad just sent me. You know what he sent me? He didn't send me a link. He sends me his yellow notepad, old school yellow notepad, top 25 that he wrote down. So now I've got to read through his cursive writing and go, okay, you gave me a top 25. I thought this was a top 50 list. I'm like, yes.
Wait a minute. He sent you like
Not a link. I said, Dad, I'm thinking I'm getting a link. He sends a picture, and it's, yep, still use the old yellow, whatever. I'm like, I almost be like, Dad, I know I would a link so I can actually get the whole gist of this, not just you writing down the top. I'm like, really? That's old school. He'll literally, however he found that list, and he went through and wrote, instead of like me pulling it up on my phone the next day.
Did he mail it to you?
Yeah, right. He should have. That would have been even funnier. I sent that in the mail yesterday. You hadn't got it yet?
Yeah, right.
He sends that back. I'm thinking I'm going to get a link, or even that. He's like, I sent it in the mail. You hadn't got it yet?
I even put an extra stamp on there.
Yeah, I put it overnight. I paid $10. But regardless, it was a top 50 all time black athletes. It wasn't, and it was influential because I loved how they broke it down. They broke it down, and I'll bring that up in a little bit. The way they broke it down was beautiful, but they left off one key figure that you figured not only be in the top 10, but maybe a top 5, a surefire top 5, maybe a top 10. And I brought it up last week of the name that they left off, and it
Jesse
was
Owens?
Yeah, right. He's definitely in the top 10. I'll go over as well a little recap and review. Got a lot of stuff going on sports-wise. Got a lot of stuff going on, really. It's kind of that time of the year where you got a little this, a little that going on. Nothing too major. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But just a little this, a little that. In our Coveted Sutter Dud segment, we'll have a lot of balls to talk about. Preview that, yeah, a little teaser right there. A little balls to talk about. First, Doc, how was last Valentine's Day?
Fantastic.
Beautiful. What did you? Because we didn't talk about it. We knew I was going to Nate's, which was great with my parents. Had that massive, the bourbon treat as we call it. You know, literally, I remember 7 pounds of crawfish, 2 pounds of snow crab, 12 shrimp, and then all the,
Nice.
the hush puppies and that bread they bring out to start off with.
Well,
they
that
keep
bread,
feeding
man,
you.
it just soaked in butter and garlic.
Oh, good God! But then the potatoes, the corn. All that in there, the sausage. We emptied it. We emptied it. It was 4 of us, but we said bye.
Yeah, right.
But it's good stuff. So where'd you go? We didn't know where you went.
Albernays, man.
Where is this?
Oh, yeah, Albert. Man, it's a swanky rest. Well, there's two locations, right?
Yeah.
One right down here that just opened up, took over the old Del Frisco spot.
Oh, wow.
On Spring Valley. That's the one we went to.
Gotcha.
And just had a little 5-star dinner, just the 2 of us.
there you go.
No kids.
No, yeah.
So we left them at home with Pizza Hut.
Nice. Do you get that delivered right off? Well, not who cares to go pick it up? But so Gardner watches in.
Oh yeah,
I mean, he's kind of like
he's just hanging out with the kids. Yeah,
not that there's much to watch. They remind me of my Avery sister's kids. They just there's nothing. They're all good. They're all just doing their thing.
They're all old enough now.
Yeah, you don't have to worry
it's
about.
Awesome.
That's awesome.
We don't have to get a babysitter.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That reminds me of that's good family to have. And it seems too when you have that nice little core, you get 3, 4, 5 of them going in there.
Yeah,
all become a family.
4 of them there. Yeah, they just
love it.
Yeah, they enjoy each other.
Embrace the family
life.
life.
Had a good time. Yeah.
Well, I had a great time at Nate's. Loved going there. Hadn't gone there in a while, but man, I always wanted to get one of those platters. Every time we go there, we'd either get sandwiches or just never had gotten one of those massive platters.
I see them all the time.
So we got to, especially with mom and dad there. Mom and dad walked away. They love that already. We used to do those back in the day, like in Arkansas, when those kind of started getting big, those crawfish boils, and you just throw it out on a table and have a trash can.
Was that your first time your parents been there?
Yes.
Did they like it?
Oh, like super impressed. If there was a 10, they get a 10 out of 10. They gave it a 12 out of 10.
That seems like that'd be kind of like one of your dad's spots, right?
Go to, especially back in the day.
It's like right up his alley, right there, right?
He was in heaven.
That's one of his hangs.
Yes, for sure. They were in heaven. They were in heaven.
I'm surprised he didn't have flashbacks.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
All of a sudden, he think he's 22 again.
Yeah, right. starts ordering drinks. I'm like, Dad, no.
Up on the table.
Yeah, right. All right, so let's get to it. We got to get to it right away. What's up, Doc?
Baseball.
Yeah, I know, right?
Let's talk baseball.
Let's do it.
Come on, we got to talk baseball. In fact, I thought we'd dedicate the whole show to baseball, but
it's not. Hey, not opening day. We can. We need to get Steve we'll do that because you brought it up last week. Let's do our just like last year, opening day picks because luckily it ended up being the day after, and I think today is the day. It's the day after this year again because I think it's a Thursday it starts. So our show will be Friday. Let's talk about. It'll just be all baseball. Get Steve back on again.
Yeah,
we'll all do our picks again.
Yeah. So let's break this down, right?
Yeah.
A little controversy in baseball going on right now.
Little.
Right? So let's break this down. 3 years ago, the Houston Astros implement a scheme to steal signs. Correct?
They did.
Yes.
A new scheme. Their scheme.
Because nobody's ever stole signs before.
Yeah, it's like baseball. I said, it was their design way to do it at a new...
Correct. Because,
no
one.
Look at Patriots. Literally, were just like I said this year. I think it was Brown, whatever game where they were leaving, going, "No, what are you doing? What are you recording?" And he's trying to say, "I can delete that."
Right.
And that's the Patriots. They won how many Super Bowls lately?
Yeah, exactly. Right. So they came up with their scheme to steal signs, and they thought they'd go what? Just like everybody else, high tech. We all got to go high tech today, don't we?
Yeah.
In everything we do.
Right.
You can't even wash your car without going high tech.
Yeah.
Everything's got to be high tech. So now they go to steal signs and they implement a high-tech way of doing it, right? You knew that was coming. By the way, baseball players have to be completely, incredibly naive to think that the use of technology was not going to creep into
eventually at some point in time.
the game. Heck, when you invited instant replay into the game, you're inviting cameras. Right?
Exactly.
So you got to be. Baseball players may not be the smartest group of guys on the face of the planet, but I think they're smart enough to know that with technology in the dugout, iPads, iPhones, watches,
yeah, right, exactly.
Right.
Unless they say do away with all that, we're back to 1975 baseball.
Which, by the way, I think they should.
Yeah.
I'm old school that way. I think you could do all your scouting and all your homework away from the game as it should be, your scouting reports. Yeah. And when it comes game time, you're in the dugout with your team, and it's old-fashioned, old-school baseball. Us against you, your smarts and baseball IQ against our baseball IQ.
Now, if you want to try during the game, you have third or whatever, and they're trying to figure out the signs like old school, like they had to.
Old school.
They're trying to figure it out. What do you think that means? Whatever. However, whatever. That's what I'd be saying, because I don't know. But they'd be trying to figure it out. Then that's fine. That's what That's what anyone's trying to do. Or when Peyton Manning, like I said, all those times when he's on the field going, Omaha. In one quarter it means slant, next quarter it means slant and go. Or you get,
right.
You're trying to figure those out on field.
Right. And that's been going on since the beginning of time.
Gonna have to be, exactly. No, that's fine. I'm right there with you.
Beginning of time. So here comes technology. The Astros implement it. And by the way, we would be incredibly naive to think that other teams aren't doing it either.
And of some sort, for sure.
Right. In fact, there's many teams around the league right now going, holy crap.
We better tone it down.
Shut that down. Shut that down.
Shut down operation.
Get that out of here right now. Get that out of here.
Yeah. Take it to the field and burn it.
You better believe it. And not a word to anybody.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
I'm so glad the Astros took the heat.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
Well, and the Red Sox are right behind it. The report hasn't been released there. But okay. So they got busted stealing some signs using technology, a scheme by the way, from 3 years ago.
Right.
Okay. Well, now you have to, instead of treating the symptom, you got to literally treat the problem. Mm-hmm. The problem is the technology.
Yeah.
So it should.
And then, like you said, and if you disobey, I do agree with Girardi saying, what they didn't do it for the longest time, but then condone it to like steroids and say, hey, you're going to be out for a year. Take their money away.
Right.
Take their money away, essentially.
Right.
And say, okay, cool. You want to do it? You're gone for and they'll 82 games. Are like, what's his face? Braun that was gone for 100, whatever.
So implement the policies, commissioner, baseball. Implement the policies, and come out and tell all the players, shut up and play baseball.
Yeah. But I do once again, because I'm such I love to be devil's advocate. And always see both sides. But regardless, I understand the players, especially like say the Yankees, who were right there. They should have, you know what I'm saying, or teams that were right there on the cusp. Man, if you're like, I don't know who was terrible that year. I'm just don't like the Milwaukee Brewers or whatever. Now they're usually always pretty good. But you know what I'm saying? If you're whoever were terrible that year, I mean, really, what are you arguing? But if you're one of those teams that were right there, you're going, man, that should have been our trophy. No, you can't go back and take the.
And I think that's a huge leap. I think that's a huge leap for those teams to say that. For instance.
Well, it's like Stanton, like he even said, Jose, if he knew the pitch.
Yeah.
Stanton could hit how many home runs that year? He had 59 legally without any knowing the calls, and he's we know on roids, which is crazy to hit 60 home runs this day and age. So I believe him. If he knew the pitches, that year on fire probably would have hit 80.
Well, they say that.
He would have hit more for sure.
They say that, but
he would have hit better. But anyone would hit better.
But here's like an interesting stat, and I agree with John Smoltz, who says, "Listen, you can spin this a million different ways. Everybody needs to shut up and move on." You take Altuve, right, in 2017 at home where they're cheating, which, by the way, his teammates have even come forward and said that he had no part to.
Yeah.
No part. In fact, he even actually said, "Knock it off! I can't hit like that."
Yeah.
A drum beating or something. Just knock it off, man. I gotta let me play the game.
Focus, essentially.
Right.
I'll see the pitch. I know what I'm doing. You kind of pay me.
Correct. He hit something like 330
Yeah.
at home. On the road that year, he hit 380.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not surprised.
So he actually performed better
on the road, yeah.
On the road without any cheating.
Nonsense in his face, yeah.
Okay, so I mean, that's what I'm saying. I agree with John Smoltz. You can spin this and look at the numbers a whole bunch of different ways. It is what it is. The Astros won that World Series. You could point to a lot of different things. It's over. It's done. It's time to move on.
Yep. They're not going to, that's for sure. They're going to beam them. That's why they came out with that over-under, because now that's going to be an interesting stat. Not that was in their head, but I'm sure a lot of those pitchers already were going. And like the one, I forgot which pitcher it was, but he's like, yeah, they're going to be a little payback this year for sure. Why now? Obviously, they found out. It's ridiculous now that they're going to do it even more so this year, because they only get hit by like 60-something pitches last year. So, and only 3 teams got hit.
Well, I'll tell you, if they want to hit people, put Cora in the box and put Beltran in the box. And throw at them, because those are the 2 guys that instigated that whole thing.
But then
players didn't. But
the human, like I say, how that human mind works. Who doesn't love to, for whatever reason, and especially when you're a athlete, want to get revenge of some sort. So they're gonna hit those players.
Then go to the instigators.
Yeah, they can't hit those players though. Beltran's not gonna get in the box, unfortunately.
Of course not. He's sitting in his apartment right now.
Yes, he is.
He's sitting at his home going,
he's like, I hope.
I'm so glad I'm out of the game.
Yeah, well.
And Cora, I'm so glad I'm out of the game, because those are the two ringleaders.
I understand, but I totally understand the players being pissed. Like I said, even your boy Trout even spoke up. Like I said, everyone's pissed. So. And that's what's so funny. That's what all these articles that I went through, obviously doing show prep. Even mild-mannered Trout even said something. But he's not happy with the Stroh's punishment. He lost all respect for those players. That's what he said.
Well, okay.
Your boy Trout said he lost all respect.
I disagree with Trout, and here's why. And again, I like how John Smoltz' take on this. He goes, look, everybody's talking as if the Houston Astros had on 2017. 25 of the most unethical guys that ever played baseball.
Oh, I mean, listen, I'm just saying I can understand the players being mad.
And the reality is, you didn't have. The reality is, Smoltz says, the guys that are doing the bitching, if they played on the Astros in 2017, they wouldn't have said a word.
Well,
they wouldn't have said a word.
I think,
not one of them. Not Cody Bellinger, not even Mike Trout.
Yeah,
they would not have said a word.
Let's see if Trout would have said a word.
Trout would have not said a word.
That's the only one. He would have been like Altuve, I think, and would have gone with it, but not said, I want to hit. I'm a pure. He would have done that.
Correct.
I don't even, because he's not going to rat on his whole team, too. He's like, I'm not going to go out and rat all my players and all my coaches, but
because
yes,
honestly,
he would have shut his mouth and probably just said, shut up, I want to hit.
Honestly,
leave that, I want to be out of this.
I think there were people in the organization that were actually thinking, well, we're just stealing signs. We're using high tech to do it.
I'm sure there were some.
But we've been stealing signs for 100 years, 100 plus years.
And I'm sure there were a few going, man, I can't believe we're doing this. Like, they had us, the whole time going, man, I can't believe we're really doing the pounding of. I'm sure there had to have been the way minds work, I'm sure more were going, they didn't think it was that big of a deal.
Correct.
And I'm sure there were a couple, though, going, like maybe even Altuve that was going, man, I can't. Why are we doing this? Like, we know what I mean? We can win without this shit. You know what I'm saying?
We don't need it.
We don't need this.
And there were probably a handful that said something just doesn't feel right about it. There are others that were like, well, what the hell?
We're winning.
We're using technology to steal signs.
Yeah,
so what? They can use technology.
I agree with you, though. They can get rid of it, because it's only a matter of time. People are going to find new tweak, like the Patriots have ways to tweak things.
Yes. And then let me tell you one other thing, just real quick. Baseball players will talk out both sides of their mouths, right? So,
sports do all the anyone in sports.
Mike Trout will say, geez, if I know what was coming, I would have a lot of fun up there in the box.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Okay. Well, a few years ago when Derek Jeter retired, and he was doing his, last circuit around the league, and he was playing his last game, at bat, and he gets his last walk-off hit, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, the accusations were, and it is true, that the pitcher served him up a nice fastball down the middle of the plate.
Right.
Kind of as a tip of the hat.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
There's a runner
nice
on.
little ode to you.
You have a chance to hit a walk-off here.
Yeah.
You have a chance to hit a walk-off and win the game. Here I come with my fastball down the middle of the plate for you, Mr. Jeter. Right? And Jeter's even confronted with that after the game in the locker room, saying, people are saying he served that up for you. And he goes, he did, and I appreciate that.
Yeah.
He said he did, and I appreciate it. And then you know what Jeter said? Jeter said, but I still had to hit it.
Yeah. Right. I mean,
I still had to hit it.
Well, yeah. I mean, of course. It's your last. And that's it's your last swing.
So
now.
all these baseball players could say, "Well, if I know what's coming."
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, how come Jeter said he had to? I still had to hit it,
Yeah.
and everybody at that time went, "Yes, he's right."
Oh, we've
he
said
still
that
has
here.
to hit
I
it,
know. He still has to
right?
hit it for sure. It just increases your odds, regardless.
So I guess my angst is this: the commissioner needs to step in, lower the boom on the policies, and come out and say, "Look, the Astros have got the brunt of this because." They were the first.
And that's the thing, too. He's already made his punishment, so it's hard to come out now and be like, because he's already for sure said players will not be punished. And
that was part of the negotiations to get them to talk.
So that's what I'm saying. If anything now, the only thing, and we've said this would be to do, would be taking the trophy away. But even still then, that would be such a precedent and stupid because you've already made, and you would be doing it because of what? This whole rise in this talk. So now, and even because of LeBron, everyone else saying, you've messed up. I can't believe you haven't, what are you doing? Why is it, like I said, just because just now why weren't they tweeting that back then? They easily could have made a stand then, and then maybe anyone could have understood, okay, maybe we goofed up and maybe should have taken, they whatever. But don't do this, and I know it's just because they're just now getting a mic in their face, but you have Twitter. You could have said something. It's the same exact thing. I don't know. I just don't. It's kind of goofy to me. I'm with you a little bit more so than I understand the players totally, but I'm more so with you. Let's move on. It's 3 years ago. If you understand, if this just happened in 2019, like they just won it cheating, we just found out. You'd be like, nope, trophy's done.
And you got stupid things like you got Darvish coming out and saying, I'm pissed off because they lit me up. They lit you up in Los Angeles.
Yeah, right.
They lit you up in Los Angeles.
A lot of people have lit you up at times. Let's not even be. It's not like you've always been a stud.
Correct. So stop it. So I just think the players need to stop it because you could say, well, the Giants won the World Series because Bonds was on steroids.
Right.
If he wasn't on steroids, we would have won that World Series. If
yeah.
Bonds wasn't on steroids, we would have won that World Series.
For sure. I think, yeah, trust me. That's like you like Smoltz.
The Rangers would have won that World Series if Bonds hadn't been on steroids. I mean, you see?
I got it. Also today,
so players, shut up, play baseball.
Right.
It's over. Let's move on.
Regardless, we'll get into it. Just real quick, might as well. Teams are shaping up for spring training. First game today. We'll have to talk more baseball. Again, next week, certainly so, as we'll have more games. We have the Rangers and, who was it? Royals today. So we got 2 blue teams playing. That's awesome. Then and that's crazy. I didn't realize that in spring training they play every day. They don't play every day, but there's games every day, I should say.
Games every day.
Up until opening day. So the day before opening day,
spring training is great, man. You go to practices in the morning, you go to games in the afternoon and evenings. That's awesome, beautiful. Man. You go watch the teams
especially
practice.
In the beautiful weather that we have in the Arizona and Florida. But yeah, every game until March. They have a game from I should say games now up until March 25th. That's the day off up until opening day the next day. So they take that day. I didn't realize they did that. They only take one day off, and then boom, they're back to
exactly. Which, by the way, I already preseason.
Yeah, yep. I said early picks. You got Stros. I'm going Yankees.
I picked the Stros.
I'm going Yankees.
And now more than ever, I'm for the Stros.
There you go.
Now more than ever, because you know what the ultimate up yours would be.
Oh yeah, for sure to win it
for the Stros.
And after they lost it last year,
yeah,
and that's why I go Yankees because I think they're going to have just as much because they got the firepower to fight it. So we'll see if they make it, and that's
and if the Stros do win it. It's them against the world, man.
Oh yeah,
the only guys they got are the 25
guys.
It
reminds you kind of like the Patriots. It's in a way, you know what I mean?
Even worse, man. It's going to be nasty. It's going to be a nasty year.
Even worse. No, the Patriots have had like 3. Deflategate.
No. I mean, even worse in terms of the fans.
Gotcha.
Exactly. In terms of the heat throughout.
Oh man, people, especially baseball fans, would be like.
We're talking 162 games here.
Yeah. Hey, and I can't wait to see how many times they get hit by a pitch this year. What are you going? Well, because we'll do it ourselves. It's over/under is 83.
Really?
And there were only 3 teams last year that went over that. Which I should say went. The fact that 3 went over that last year, I'm going over. The 3 teams already went over that last year.
I hope that doesn't.
Astros got hit by 60-something. It was mid-60s last year already. So it's mid-60s last year. Now after this, I think 20 more easy.
I hope not. I hope they don't. I hope that does.
Let's not hope. What do you think, though? You think over or under? I'm going over 83.
I'm actually going to go under.
Okay.
Because
we'll have to keep a track of that. This will be an interesting season to watch.
Yeah, because I actually think when it comes right down to it, pitchers.
Because that's the thing, too. Then they're going to say, are they going to start punishing pitchers for, beaming the, starting to really, we'll see. We'll get into that.
I hope baseball's above that.
Let's get to something kind of funny and more uplifting. Tweet of the week. It brought to you by The Simpsons. This is actually pretty funny. Another pretty funny one. The caption is, so of course, like I said, you got to read the caption first. Even Homer uses that GIF. Now, I don't know if you've seen this GIF. I'll get to it. But it says, even Homer uses that GIF. So you see Lisa sitting there on her phone. All of a sudden, she gets a text from Dad. And it says, and it's from Homer. And she opens it. It says, Lisa, I can't find my phone. She immediately replies, you're texting on it. Which he immediately replies, the GIF Homer. It's him, where he slowly hides back into the bushes and disintegrates. Hiding, whoops. It was so funny. I laughed out loud. That's actually pretty funny. I was that's hilarious.
That's a dad thing.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Totally.
I loved it. Black History Month. Let's get to it. I know we've kind of talked about it. Everyone should have. It should be an everyone month. You know what I'm saying? Where we celebrate everyone that's been great in this. I think it should be
or
American History Month, because that's what you're doing. You're celebrating.
Yeah.
Black. It's not like you're celebrating black people from Africa. We're celebrating Black History Month. What are we celebrating usually?
Black Americans.
Exactly. So why don't we just call it American History Month? That would be, to me, beautiful. Native Americans, the black people.
Well, I think
everyone that's endured and went through a lot in this country.
I think the more we continue to
the Jews, the Irish,
throw up a race card.
It involves is people are going to keep talking about
race.
Exactly. I've always said that.
I just think it's
forever go about the girl. You remember a girl named Lindsay Lohan, the actress, I should say, little child star.
Yeah.
When she was going through all those trials and tribulations after she was a star and TMZ, I'm like, why is she? It's because, that's when I started clicking, because I was 18, 19, 20. I'm like, the more you talk about something. Mm-hmm. You stop talking about it, and they stop talking about her. Where she, you don't ever hear it's gone. You don't. It's out of sight, out of mind type thing. So I'm like, would you please stop talking about it?
Right.
But let's at least pay tribute for certain. So I do, like I said, have had plenty that have. When I was a kid, obviously growing up, even in the South, what happened in Little Rock? Do you recall what happened in Little Rock in the 50s, or was it? Yeah, it was 1956.
In Little Rock, Arkansas.
Yeah, it's called the Little Rock 9.
Yes, I do remember that.
That's only one of the biggest school events probably ever, besides all the school shootings. And the president had to literally call the National Guard down to escort these kids into school.
Arkansas people are nuts.
Yeah, well, anyone in the South back then was pretty stupid and nuts. Like I said, Dad grew up in Alabama, from Little Rock. My dad from Little Rock to Birmingham, Alabama. Yeah, so he got to see the forefront of it all, and then I got to hear all the stories. So he was right there with me. He, like my grandpa had. He got beat up so many times. My real grandpa, not Pappy, but my dad's real dad, that unfortunately passed probably in the 60s or 70s, because of got beat up so many times because he would help. He owned a furniture store in Little Rock and hired black people, and people would break his wind, just beat him up all the time, and just because he would be like me, like, man, this is just. Right. Don't see, and I hate to say that, but there's no color. It's just a person, human being. That's whatever we should all be called. We're human being, people, persons, whatever. We're not.
Right.
Anyway, so let's get to it.
Yeah, imagine if we held something against ugly people.
Yeah, right.
Look how different you're.
Yeah, and when we do, how rude, how mean we're being. Or man, Doc, you're gaining some weight over there. I can see you're a little fat.
Here, I'm gonna kick your.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? You call me ugly, I call you. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, people. That's very demeaning. People don't like when you call them that. So imagine when you label them that, you're labeling them something like.
Right. Just let it go, man.
Let it go. So let's get to definitely some real quick.
Thanks for bringing up my weight gain. I appreciate it.
I'm just. You call me ugly, so I got to go the other way out, because I was gonna say fat was the other one. As soon as you said ugly, I go fat. I'm like, that's the other. You say those two things.
Oh yeah.
Or the other one that's kind of been brought up. I'm not even gonna get into it. But you get my point. I'm not gonna get into it. But yes, don't be rude to people and label stuff anyway. Just like, it's a person. We're all humans. We should all love each other. I hate that we don't.
Right.
Yeah, I see birds and more. I'm saving little spiders in the house, and neighbor's like, "What are you doing? Kill that thing!" And I'm like, "It's so little though. It's not gonna hurt us." And I'll try to take it outside and. Big ones I'm killing. If it's bigger than I'm like, get out of here. But if it's little bitty and I know it can't even bite me, I'm like, no, come on, save that little critter. He's got life to live. He's probably dead the next day, eaten by something else. I put it outside. It's going to say as soon as I put it outside.
He gets run over by a car
immediately,
and he's thinking,
jerk. Asshole. I was living in your house, loving life, eating all the dust, whatever. Real quick though, let's get to it. Like I said, Dad with his yellow notepad sending me a literally a written down list. But here it is. It is a top 50 list from, and now I've never really heard of these guys, but they've done a few lists. It's called the Undefeated, and it's 50 greatest black athletes of all time. And it's a cool little survey. They put together, they did impact on society, dominance, and inspiration. So, and they had a rating. So 50 being the low end, one being the high end. Starting off with Tim Duncan. Now I'm not going to keep bringing him up, but Isaiah Thomas. We'll keep going through the list. There is not one. The name they left off, and you would figure he'd be in the top 10, Tiger Woods.
I knew you were going to say that.
Not in the whole entire list.
Why would Tiger Woods be in there?
Greatest black athletes of all time. Name a better golfer than Tiger Woods. You got maybe one maybe. He's the greatest golfer by far in the last 30 years. His dominance is ridiculous. But here's my point.
Chichi Rodriguez.
There you go, baby. That's when we have once again, American History Month.
See, Chi-Chi needs to be honored.
I love it.
What do we got
his personality?
Chi-Chi needs to be honored.
Yes. I mean, here's my point, though. You've got, Bill Russell's way down there. King Griffey Jr.'s on it. Arthur Ashe is way. How's Arthur Ashe at 38? I don't even know. But Roberto Clemente, Ernie Banks, Larry Fitzgerald is on this list, and not one Tiger Woods.
Well,
exactly. So there was another list I looked up, done by a professor at Temple, albeit. He had Hank Aaron at number 1 on his list, and Martin Luther King. This was like an all-time list. And
Tiger did appear on the top 50 Playboys.
I'm sure he did.
He did.
For certain, he was number 4. He was number 4 on that one.
He was number 4. He is getting some recognition.
But it just shows you how lists are goofy. This guy had Hank, which I love Hank Aaron. He's on my list of close calls, one of my all-time favorites. He had Hank Aaron at number 1, Martin Luther King Jr. at 56. What was the list again called? I forgot what his list.
Put this together.
That was a professor at Temple. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me, brother. So anyway, so to our list.
So, okay, you know how this happened, right? First of all, when you said a professor at Temple, okay, can we just dip into academia for a second?
What's that?
This guy came up. He came up with some algorithm, some formula,
right,
that's supposed to calculate everything. He puts all this data into the computer, and the computer spits it out, and he says, "Well, this is what it is."
Oh yeah, that's a lot of those are exactly
right. This is what it is, and he's saying, and this is what it is because the computer is smart because it's reading this algorithm or this software. So instead of actually looking at it from a human perspective and making some assessments.
Like the BCS used to be for college football?
Correct. That's exactly. Good point.
Right.
Exactly. That's my point.
So let's get to some of the ones that'll definitely probably be on our list. Number 5, Jesse Owens. Just huge. He had a dominance of 9, impact on society 5, inspiration 3. Willie Mays is 4, dominance 6, impact society 2, inspiration 2. Muhammad Ali 3, dominance 2, impact on society 8, inspiration 5. Jackie Robinson at number 2. 17 for dominance, impact society, inspiration 1 apiece. And my man, the GOAT, is actually at number 1, dominance 1, impact on society, inspiration 4 apiece. So him and those two, any of those 3 or 4, 5 are like, they got to be.
See, I think, I have some.
Then Serena Williams is up there.
Disagreement
Hank Aaron's up there in the top 10. Here's one that I definitely disagree with because she's still Simone Biles, the recent gymnast.
Yeah, right.
At 8.
Yeah, right.
Okay, whatever.
Well, the computer said so.
Exactamundo. All right, so anyway, let's get to your list. Just some of your, in all time, who do you got? Who do you have up there?
Well, I think the most impressive ones are the ones that, like a Jackie Robinson would have to be my number 1 guy.
Right.
Come on, look at.
Oh, are you kidding me? That's why, I have him and Jesse Owens
I
tied.
can't even put in the words.
Yeah, I have him. Jesse Owens went over and said, hey, Adolf Hitler.
Yeah, exactly.
Are you kidding me?
So I think for me, and I don't even rank them in.
Exactly. None of these are ranked for me.
I have a hard time going number 1, number 2, number 4, right?
Exactly.
So look, Jackie Robinson, Jesse Owens, whether you like him or not, Muhammad Ali.
Certainly, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Right, and then I would have to say, I don't know. Golly, I don't know.
Oh yeah, I have
those three.
Yeah.
Those 3.
My number 1 all time because I wrote so many papers on him growing up. From I want to say 2nd or 3rd grade was when I first wrote my first paper, all the way up into when I was at the AP Civics, which anyway. Martin Luther King Jr. Like, love the man, cry for the man. Like, even today when I see stuff, I cry. Like, that man makes me cry. Like, love that dude to death.
Yeah, but we're talking athletes, right?
But I did. Well, I'm doing a little bit of everything. Athletes for sure. I'm gonna go Michael Jordan, Muhammad Ali, Jackie. I had to put him at number 1.
See, now,
I mean, if there's like a number 1,
like, see, I like Michael Jordan. Don't get me wrong.
Oh yeah, I know. He's my era. But how he transcended basketball to the next stage.
But the Jackie Robinsons,
and
the
Jesse Owens, and the Muhammad Ali. That's a whole nother.
They paved the
way for Michael Jordan.
They paved the way for everybody.
Magic Johnson's even right before Matt. I mean, all those people, certainly so. Are you kidding me? They said, hey, guess what I'm about to do for you, which I just watched this weekend, at least the end of it for the first time ever. The movie Glory. It's got Matthew Broderick, a young Denzel Washington, Morgan Freeman. It's about Colonel Shaw, whatever his name was, but he led that one black infantry. Great to see that, actually. Now Black History Month, thinking about that. But he was like, they were, I don't know if they volunteered. That's what he did in the movie, where it was one of those ones where they picked them, and they were the first ones into this main fort that they had to take. And they pretty much knew they were going to die, essentially. Right. You know what I mean? But exactly. We're like, hey, we're going to pave the way for you guys. You know, we're going to be that. We're going to take all the bloodshed for you. Yeah, we're going to do all the hard work.
Right.
And so right there with
you.
Yeah,
so I just think there's 2 different tiers here that we're talking about.
Right, exactly. But I just have to, anyway, regardless.
And tier 1 is a very elite group.
Oh, wow.
Very elite. Yep. That's why I have a hard time after those 3 that I mentioned. I'm going like,
exactly.
Okay.
Well, and that's why I have to, because he is my all-time favorite. Somebody papered Martin Luther King Jr. and what he did. Wow, are you kidding me? Like, ridiculous. And all his speeches, like, beautiful. Others, we got to mention him. Another one I love growing up ever since it was probably 7th, 8th grade when I really started getting into guitar and music more so. Jimi Hendrix, love him to death. Old school, Maya Angelou, Arthur Ashe, Harriet Tubman. Obviously, I love Tiger Woods. Hank Aaron. And then in music-wise, Ice Cube, Dr. Dre, Run DMC, Marvin Gaye, Isaac Hayes, Al Green. Even, I know you can name a ton more musicians that had to go through hard. These are people that I know that.
Well, people like Art Tatum.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm like, who? Like, and I'm like, who's this guy?
Art Tatum's a Jackie Robinson.
Right. Exactly.
But if you don't know music, you wouldn't know who Art Tatum. Right.
So what I'm saying, there were so many on your side that you could probably think of. Other ones that you can throw out there, like Malcolm X, Oprah, Frederick Douglass. Certainly back in the 1800s, what he did is ridiculous as a black person. Certainly, so his smart mind. But yeah, just ton of great names that I remember throughout history. Like, man, they did a lot. And like you said, that early on tier 1 type people that paved the way were. Wow.
Studs of
Super
all studs.
Certainly
right?
So.
Now,
like I said, Jesse Owens, I mean, obviously, but just I'll never forget that. Jesse learned about, like, he went over, the Olympics were over in Germany when Germany was, like, at its height and was like, hey, Hitler was the dude of, like, the bad guy of the world, and he goes over there, a black guy at the time.
Yeah, Hitler didn't like Jews or blacks.
Yeah, that especially that. There you go, to throw it on top of the fact. You kidding me? That's like the coolest thing ever. Like a huge, double middle finger.
Well, if you see like some of the footage, though, you can see how pissed off Hitler was.
Yeah. Like, and those athletes, the things that they were cheating. The regimen they were putting them anyway. And he still goes over there. I'm like, wow, what a stud. So certainly pay tribute to all those that came.
And here's another reason why I love like a Jesse Owens and I like a Jackie Robinson. They did what they did with class.
Oh, that too.
Very different than Kaepernick.
Yeah.
Very different.
Or anyone in this day and age for that.
You compare Jesse Owens and Jackie Robinson to how they went about their business to Kaepernick.
Yeah, exactly. Or especially, like I said, most champions. Any person this day and age when they get up and celebrate a 10-yard pass in football or hit a 3 and kind of look in your face like they just won 3 World Series or 3 NBA, or NBA Finals or what? Yeah, it's like. You see what they did?
Yeah,
how they handled themselves.
The conversation that Jackie Robinson would have with Kaepernick would be, bro, ain't the right way to go about it.
Yeah, no way, no how. Go out there and go prove yourself on the field first off.
Ain't the right way.
And then anyway, let's get to recap and preview All-Star Weekend, NBA All-Star Weekend. I sent you. Did you see the half-court shirt?
Can I just say that's some of the most boring basketball, that All-Star
game.
The whole thing, man.
The only cool thing, and it was only decent, was the ending. How they and I still didn't like this. I'm like, why don't you just give them? You do see how they ended the All-Star game itself, right?
Yeah.
It's a set score.
Yeah.
They come up with and so in the fourth quarter they go the first team to 157. I'm like, what? And I was like, why don't we just play 4 games of 21? Yeah. Whoever wins 20, so the first team that went, I'm like. 21, okay, whoever won that, okay, East won that one, 21, okay, West, you know what I mean? Like, why don't we just play to 21 then? Like, what is this?
I just thought the whole thing, even all the events, the dunk contest, the 3-point shot, I think to me, it's just something's missing. I don't get it. There's just something missing. But I'm not a huge, maybe to the big basketball star fan.
It's for basketball fans and it's to young people, because young people, you see them, oh man, I love that. And I'm like, they love them trying to mix it up and add all this goofy stuff that we're not used to, that we're like, what's going on? Am I even watching the same thing anymore, essentially?
Yeah, and what was with the, like they have like people introducing them, like the singers and stuff. I mean, I don't know. It's just
it's a whole new world.
It's a weird groove, man. It's just a really weird groove.
Well, we'll give you a little good news. Team Wilbon did beat Team Smith, so your boy Stephen A. did take a loss. I don't know if you saw that.
I love that.
Yeah, right.
Do you mean he's wrong?
What?
You mean he was wrong?
Right, exactly. It says Stephen. Oh, so I guess Stephen A. played. I didn't watch this, but Stephen A. made his first by earning its first ever technical foul. So I guess he earned a technical foul. I don't know. Oh, he was probably a coach, so he was probably out there doing his exactly. There we go. Into the Rising Stars game, as I called. Team USA pulled away at the end. They had a little more talent, which I figured. But Luka, what a great game from him. That's what I seen. You see the half-court shot that he hit right over. It was so cool. Right over Trae Young, really. So two young stars.
Is he a stud or what, man?
Both of them are, but Luka is just a man. That dude's super stud. And what's funny is the guy calling it, because I sent you that link. The guy's doing the game. He's like, watch, Luka's about to hit this, Literally called it, which is crazy. Luka banks it in. I'm like, wow, the announcer just called that. That was nuts. And it was cool that Trae Young gives him a hug, kind of like, man, kind of like, you kidding me, bro? Like, yeah, too good. Like, wow. 3-point contest, didn't really watch it. Buddy Hield, I meant to watch the slam dunk contest. Supposedly it was somewhat decent. I didn't watch it. I guess did you watch any of the slam dunk contest?
Yes, I did.
See, I didn't watch any of it. So
boring.
Yeah, see, I didn't watch any of it. And then All-Star Game, didn't watch it. Or I should say watched some of it, like here and there, and then I wanted to see the end of it just because Avery was passing out and it lasted a while. So I was like, I'll put this on. It was just goofy. It's like what we said. Yeah, there's not like it used to be to me. Certainly so. And I wish they had more of a meaning to it.
Yeah.
Not that I guess any of them do anymore, because like you said, I forgot the MLB All-Star Game. That's no longer whoever, because that was kind of whoever wins that team, the NL or AL get will get home field advantage and And now is it just best record?
It's just it's right. That's no longer associated with it, but they still go out and play baseball.
Right. Well, yeah, they definitely go out and play, not just like lollygagging around.
They're still throwing 100 miles an hour pitch.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
And it's like a fresh pitcher after fresh pitcher after fresh pitcher.
Yeah, and the guys are trying to hit the ball.
Yeah, exactly. But that's the only thing I did like somewhat. I kind of liked it, but I kind of did in the whole inning thing just because it made the only thing that because it made it close. Because the team, they're both close. That's the only thing I liked about it. If it would have been one thing if one team was just running away. I'm like, how do you? So that's where if it's anyway, it is kind of goofy. I'm right there with you. Not a big fan of it myself. Didn't really watch too much of it. It shows because we didn't watch too much. To college basketball though, there is a huge game this weekend. Two of our Final Four teams face off. Number 3 Kansas at number 1 Baylor. So a huge game down in Waco. I'm sure it'll be sold out.
That's going to be awesome.
Great atmosphere. You think it'd be like a 11 a.m. tip tomorrow.
And what's up with that?
What is up with what?
That needs to be changed.
Immediately. How I should have put a petition as soon as I'm like, how is this 11 a.m.? Don't y'all want people to watch this? Like,
yeah, right. 11 a.m.
11 a.m. You figured it'd be 6. This is whatever their prime time.
I'm working. Sorry.
It'd be a good game to watch, though. I'm going to try to catch it. That's the only thing about me. 11 a.m. usually on Saturday. That's when I'm getting the editing. I'm doing stuff at the home, so I'll just throw that on above the computer and I'll watch it. But I'm like, man, for other people, though, like, anyway. Daytona 500, did you see the ending of that thing on Sunday?
Oh, my goodness gracious.
Was that not nuts?
Yeah, it was.
I mean,
he's lucky to be alive, man.
Isn't he, though? And
he walked out of the hospital.
He did, just 2 days ago now. But, yeah, crazy. Gets flipped up. Here, well, first hits the wall, gets flipped up.
With
then
that car
hits him.
Oh, my gosh. I thought it was over then, man.
Yeah, that's when most people, I'm sure, thought it was over. That or he was certainly injured.
How did that cage saved him, man?
Those things are, I can't imagine how much money they put into that, obviously a lot, but how safe those things are. It's like yeah. I mean, the fact that didn't give way and he's not injured. Major. I mean, he walked away, so obviously we're really no major injuries.
It's unstinking believable.
Yeah. Unstinking believable. And I kind of hate
what's even more unbelievable? He's going to get back in the car and race again.
Yeah. And, hey, a tough week for him, too, because literally just 4 days prior to that, the day before Valentine's Day, his wife and him announced they're separating and getting a divorce. It's a little tough week for O. Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Nowhere but up, buddy.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. You'll get the next one. Champ. Well, here's what's crazy. Guy we brought up last week, Denny Hamlin ends up winning it. The guy said that because of the Michael Jordan story with playing with Michael Waltrip. Remember I brought up the Michael Waltrip story. They ended up playing because Denny Hamlin was invited down. I was like, that's crazy. Denny Hamlin, and also was brought up because he was up there at the top with like 3 or 4 others at 10-1 odds to win. So he was at the very top to win. Still just hate when they do that because you can see him nudge the back of that car. Like,
I know it.
How is that not illegal?
I don't get. That's what I thought too.
I'm like, how he did that? And what's crazy enough, luckily he did so cross the line. Newman still finished 9th. So it wasn't like he got the worst of finishes or he did not finish. Like, and it was right there at the finish line. So he still got points for that. But and I'm like, how is that? And I know that I'm sure. I'm like, that's illegal. That'd be like if I'm going down the basketball court and I'd kind of give you one of those before you get a layup and you fall down and I get the ball. No foul. That should be no foul then, right?
Are we talking NBA now?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Well, that happens all the time.
Well, I guess it does. Well, it should be a foul, though.
Yeah, I know it, right? You see it all the time. I know. And you're like, are you kidding me? Yeah, no foul.
I know. I'm telling you. Between the anyway.
Oh, my God.
Exactly. First off, we already did speak about the MLB, but we kind of just bring it up. We're going to still go hard strong, most likely, even though we're going to probably do this right at about a month from now. Still, it's probably more strong than ever than Strohs, huh? Getting back to the baseball talk real quick.
Okay. Yeah, I think unless I'll see how spring training goes.
Right.
But I'm going with the Stros. I have a funny feeling, man.
Well, they're going to be there as usual. I mean, they were my pick last year. They almost won it, or they were almost my pick last year.
I think guys like Bregman, Correa, right? Correa, man. I already love Correa. Yeah. Telling Cody Bellinger, shut up.
Yeah.
Just shut up.
Oh, and then when they do pitch to him, and imagine the look he's going to give these pitchers when they hit home runs now.
Right. Oh my gosh. Right. Right. I love it. Correa tells Corey Bellinger, you hit 140 in the World Series.
Yeah.
Put a sock in.
Right.
Just put a sock in. Right.
You would have hit 240 maybe.
Right. And again, like Smoltz said, the cheating didn't help the pitchers.
Yeah, exactly. It was only there for the batting. That's where the cheating came in. It wasn't like the pitch. Yeah, and that pitching was pretty studderific.
When Cody Bellinger went 140 for the series, right, what's he blaming?
Yeah, exactly.
Right? So,
blaming not getting those calls.
Right, exactly. So I would love to see the Astros.
It'd be a fun pick for you, too,
I would love to see
such
true grit.
Yeah.
Because it is stacked up against them.
Yeah, definitely so.
If the cheating hadn't come out, I was picking the Stros before this whole cheating thing exploded.
Exactly. Yeah, you were pretty much.
Because they have a great lineup. They still have one killer rotation. So do the Nationals, right? We'll see. I'm still kind of leaning Stros, though. But there's a little emotional side there. I'd like to see that would make a great story.
Oh, it would be. Yeah, certainly so. Definitely.
And I'd love to see what they would say at the end of the World Series.
Right.
Would you love to see that?
Oh, yeah. All their
my
looks.
Gosh.
What you got to say now?
Hey, guys.
What you got to say now? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yep. Let's get to it. And it's a guy I wish I would have known this story, which it had been out, and I would have loved to ask Mr. Nick Lecky this. So let's get to our stutter dud moment. Go back in time a little bit because I just heard the story this past week with the whole fact that Drew Brees is announcing that he's returning this year for another season. So I didn't realize after he broke Peyton Manning's all-time passing record a couple of years ago that he wanted to do something special. And he kind of already was thinking about it for everyone that's been involved. And it first started with obviously everyone that's caught a pass. I mean, point being, he's gonna make customized footballs. The people that make up in Ohio where they make the footballs for the NFL, he had these cool custom, and they have their picture on it with their name and what if they have 20 catches, 100 catches, blah 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 blah.
Oh wow, very nice.
But then he expanded it to coaches and linemen. Every lineman that ever started a game got a football.
Well, I guess old Nick Lecky's going to get one.
So that's what they already were handed out. So that's what I'm saying. I didn't know for sure if Nick started again. I'm sure he did that year. I know he
snapped it to him,
yeah, so,
a gazillion times.
So I'm wondering, that's why I would love to ask Nick. So, hey, stud or dud, stud, that's super awesome. And I would have done the same thing I have to, or would have had to have done something. As in Drew Brees. Shout out to Drew for doing that. Sending that out to all the guys because they had, they had LT on, those little segment they had on NFL Live earlier this week.
And you know what I like about that? That's so much hipper and cooler than a Rolex.
Right. Well, it's like showing your real appreciation. Yeah, right. You thought about them.
Real thought went into
right.
Creating something that can stay with them.
And speak of someone that has that old school Jesse Owens, Jackie Robinson type.
Right.
Keeps it kind of to they know how to handle themselves in the moment.
It's something that can be cherished by them and their family for many, many years to come.
Yep. So that was super cool. So yeah, I was like, man, Nick, now when we get it back on again, I'm like, so
he's got to show us.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, let's get the ball on.
Show us the ball.
Yes, that's so awesome. So I had to bring that up for sure. Until next week, what to watch this weekend. Didn't bring it up earlier during the show too much, but Wilder versus Fury 2. Can't wait to watch this rematch. I'll watch the original matchup. A lot of people lean toward Fury, the big Brit that kind of won, and he did probably outbox him most of the time, that fight. But it was a draw mostly because Wilder knocked him down hard in the 12th, but somehow Fury got up from a ridiculous hard punch. It's ESPN Plus, Fox pay-per-view tomorrow night, which is Saturday night. So of course, by the time you hear this, it's already happened. But man, I watched the presser pushing and shoving. You hear it was like that because they were cussing that. I mean, they were just yelling. And they had to just hold it down, and then you wouldn't even hear them for just blur it, and you would just see. But it was like, I mean, it was, oh man, but then by the time they calmed them down, it was cool. So great to see this fight this weekend. I can't wait to watch it, see how it happens. Obviously, I'm for the American. I'm always for Americans. I'm always like, even in watching football, even though it's weird for that's all right. I'm like, I'm for the SEC. If the SEC team's going for I'm going for that. Even though I don't like Alabama or LSU usually, but if they're facing who I'm going SEC, don't we want to be all? That's how we chant. Remember when we were in bowl games at the end of those games. That kind of became a thing in the late 2000s because we started winning a lot of championships, so we were really prideful. So like at the end of these bowl wins, I remember at the SEC, that's what we chant. SEC. I'm like, so that's all of us guys. That's not just us. So you get my point.
Right.
So if Americans fighting, I'm going for the American. Although Fury, I like him a lot. He's a good guy. I mean, huge, 6'9",
big boy.
Both of them are big. Fury 6'7", his wingspan's the same wingspan of Giannis, the freak. That's how big his wingspan is.
Those are some big boys.
Big boys. Would not everyone ever. I'd be like this once again, one of those. Boop. Count me out. Hurry. Count to 10 as fast. Just go 1 10.
Dude, you wouldn't even get hit. You'd be on the mat before.
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
He goes, I didn't even hit him.
That's what I'm saying. I'd hit myself. I'd do one of these. I would just boom. Count to 10. Hurry. Come on. I don't want any part of this.
Well, man, you're doing better than me because I wouldn't even get in the ring.
I'd do it for the money.
Oh,
if there was any money to be had, I don't know. But if I don't doubt anyone, they want to see someone fight a chump. Let's see how bad he's going to get killed. Yeah, we're going to see him actually kill somebody. And then I get in there like, yeah, we're hyping this up big time. I'm like, I hope, yeah. And then I just do that. I'm like, oh, y'all paid all that money for nothing. Besides that, also, and it's built up to be one of the biggest rematches boxing-wise since Tyson Holyfield 2, which that was the old ear-biting incident, if you don't remember that.
Yeah.
That was funny. Right. Also, got to watch some spring training baseball this weekend. If you get a chance, it'll be on ESPN. Of course, I'm sure on some MLB network or something along those lines.
We will be watching.
Number 3, Kansas at number 1, Baylor. Got to. I'll be watching that tomorrow. And I'm sure, unfortunately, a lot of people will be missing that because that's 11 a.m.
I won't be seeing. If anything, I'll record.
I'll update you. Yeah, I'll update you if anything tomorrow when I'm watching it. Go Baylor. I look because they're Texas too. I have, and which a lot of people it's kind of surprised to see. I'm like, hey, I had them in my Final Four like back in November, baby. So I'm kind of tooting that horn. Yeah. And what's funny, we got to think about that when we do our brackets. Are we going to still go with if our 4 teams? Because I don't know if Florida. Well, Florida probably should make it. That's my only team I'm kind of worried about. But yeah, I'm not. I won't be picking those same 4 again. I'll probably still pick Louisville and Michigan State and whatever bracket, but I will not be going with Florida and Michigan State again.
What I have, Gonzaga, Duke.
You have Gonzaga, Duke, and Kansas.
North
Carolina. They're terrible this year. That was terrible. But you still got 3. You could still go Duke. Honestly, Duke, Gonzaga, Kansas. I mean, all 3 of those they're going to be probably 1-2 seeds for sure.
Yeah.
Maybe you get a 3 seed out of Duke, but I'm sure they're going to be a 2 seed too. So you're going to have 3 that are 1 and 2 seeds.
Yeah.
I kind of try to go outside the box just early on with that Florida, Michigan. Michigan State was a top 5. They were looking to be a 1-2 seed.
Michigan State, what happened there, man?
They're going to bury one of those.
Preseason
number 1. Remember I said that last week. They were the first teams since the 2013-14 Kentucky team to drop out of the top 25. Starting the season at number 1. They're still there. They could still make a run, but yeah, one of those teams like, hey, they've kind of fallen off and then get hot in the Big Ten tournament and make a run. We'll see.
You never know.
Baylor. That's why I'm still rolling with Baylor, baby. And like I said, you got a couple up there. Duke, and even Duke. I mean, you got Kansas and Gonzaga in the top 3 still, and then you've got Duke hovering right there in the top 10ish. So
Duke is like picking the Patriots.
It's kind of like Gonzaga too. You know what I mean? Lately, because they're always so good. Kansas, a lot of the time.
Yeah.
You did good. You're like, hey, you know what? I'm just gonna stick because this year too. There's a lot of parity, so it's almost good to I'm just gonna stick with the big guys.
Yeah.
And hope that they can kind of get through the parity.
Yeah.
Next week's show. Wanted to do this during the Grammys week last month, with the kind of a music month in January. Let's get back a little music next week, Doc.
Okay.
We're going to come up with our all-time band. Our all-time band. Got guitar. You got a lead singer. You're going to have bass. You can throw a couple of keys in there. You can throw whatever.
You mean we put together our...
We're putting up... and like I said, right now, I probably already got a couple of front runners. I already got one. At guitar, I got Jimi Hendrix. And I might own the keys.
I'm going jazz though, man.
Oh no, you're going. See, I'll have a mix mash.
I'll go jazz.
Here's what's crazy. I got Jimi Hendrix on the guitar, not singing, and then for backup singer, kind of throwing some vocals on the keys. Maybe Phil Collins.
Ooh.
Maybe on the drums, Don Henley, with lead vocals. Then you get I'm like, man, I'm loving this. Those are my 3 that I'm already kind of leaning toward. I got guitar, keys, drummer, with 2 singers already kind of thrown in there too.
All right.
I'm thinking about it. Now I got to get a bassist and maybe something, so we'll figure it out though. I may not go Don Henley. I like it. It's classic because he can do multiple things too.
Yeah, because Don Henley and Phil Collins, man, you're talking two different breed of
I know,
musicians.
exactly. So I got to figure out this perfect band.
They're two different energy levels
exactly.
there, man.
Well, then you got Jimi Hendrix going off on a whole different level.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that band, man.
They got to come together and mesh with the...
Yeah, that's an interesting...
yeah, right.
That might be one of those, when you put them all together, you go, you guys suck.
Yeah, right. best musicians ever,
You're right.
but man, as a band.
You suck.
So we'll put together that for sure next week. Don't forget to subscribe to us, iTunes, iHeartRadio, Spotify, SoundCloud to hear all the episodes. Of course, you can view it here right on YouTube. Subscribe there. Got like I said, send that out to Deckmar Trade, a lot of other people, so they can actually view them. And then we have guests come in, so you can view the guest. You can view them now. We had the little Google Meet. Did I get that right?
Google Meet.
There we go. Love it, man. We're trying to get, hip
high
and
tech.
say
High tech.
Hey.
See? Going high tech.
Watch out. Let's not start cheating or anything.
Oh, yeah.
Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and of course, studdanddud.com.
Yeah, we'll cheat. We have guests that aren't really here.
Right.
They're not really guests.
I'll start doing my, hey, man. I'll do my, we got a caller in. Here's Jethro.
I really love your show.
Yeah.
Really love your show.
The whole, long-time listener, first-time caller. You get that all the time. You get that once a day on every radio show ever that takes calls in.
Right,
You're like, God, you always get those first-time callers, long-time listener.
Yeah, that's so funny, man.
Thank you all for listening. Until next week, I'm Josh Smith.
Bob Lawrence.
Peace.